So this is my response to Eagle Eye 1975, speaking about cultural appropriation, filmed in much the same way that he did it, using Marco Polo, and then having a back and forth with him, but just taking the individual clip and downloading it and re-uploading it to YouTube. So here we go. I don't believe that there is a defense for cultural appropriation by saying that all cultural appropriation is really just cultural appreciation. There is another component to cultural appropriation that may not be present in all of the cases where people are lodging the complaint of cultural appropriation onto someone. But this component is very important, and that is you're taking away from another people's culture in such a manner that you are depriving them of it in a way. And I think the best example of this would be how bands such as, say, Led Zeppelin were stealing riffs from African American artists, blues artists, and then creating whole albums based on almost nothing but stolen blues riffs, and then putting their words to it. But these stolen blues riffs, they never would have sold as the black artists that invented them, right? And they were sold to a white audience that was largely racist. So it's taken out of the black market. White people can't really find it. It's obscure, so they can't find it where it is to appreciate it. And when they do discover it, they discover it through bands like Led Zeppelin. And then, the black people are cut out of the profits, the notoriety, and all of that. And it's considered a white phenomenon, this rock and roll that's based on the blues. I think that's probably my best example of it, bands in that era. I've seen many videos about Led Zeppelin and Eric Clapton and a bunch of other quote-unquote greats that did a lot of cultural appropriation. But I think my favorite example right now of cultural appropriation is actually Kanye West. Right? This isn't appreciation, this is appropriation. And I believe a lot of what Kanye's doing right now in the public eye is a work. It's Andy Kaufman-esque style show that he's putting on, where he's pissing off a lot of black people and warming up to the white nationalists in the country. Much like Blair White is basically the token trans conservative here on YouTube, Kanye's becoming the token black white nationalist, right? So it begins with the cultural appropriation of the word nigger, right? Which happened in hip-hop culture already, but Kanye West has a song written with a rhyme for the word, gold digger, right? So it starts there, but then he writes another song, and to accompany it, he has himself posing with a jacket with a Confederate flag on the side of the jacket. Now, Kanye's black. Wearing a Confederate flag seems like a bit of a mismatch, right? So, in interviews, he's saying he wrote this song about slavery, and he decided to take the symbol of the Confederate flag and make it his own, right? And now recently, he has been seen sporting the Make America Great Again hat of Donald Trump, right? Which is also kind of a rallying symbol to white nationalists who support Donald Trump, the MAGA hat, right? I believe what he's trying to do is take a symbol of hatred and change its meaning so that the people who were using it as their symbol of hatred are disenfranchised from it. Okay? He's trying to, just like the N-word, just like the Confederate flag, he's trying to take the MAGA hat and remove it from its context and add a different context to it, right? And in doing so, he's hoping to sour it to all of the people that might have used it before for hatred purposes. So I think that cultural appropriation necessarily has a component of removing the usability of something from culture, from the people who originally had it. And there is a such thing as cultural appreciation, and it is a valid defense when all you did was decide to enjoy something that maybe didn't originate in your culture, and you had no intention of removing it from the people that it came from, right? That's appreciation. Appropriation means you're taking it and you're trying to make it something that they can't use anymore, or you're putting it in a different context to where it's only for your culture now, right? Like the racists who like to hit the bong and listen to only white artists that are playing music that originated with black people, and enjoy it as if it's a white thing. That's my response to Eagle Eye 1975. I'll try to put a link in the description box so that you can go see his video where he does not believe that cultural appropriation is a thing. I think it is a thing. It's just it's something that a lot of people maybe are using the term without including that one little aspect of it, that appropriation is trying to remove it from people. Appreciation is just using it and openly acknowledging, hey, this came from some other group of people and I'm just enjoying it, And I made this whole video without mentioning hentai.